Good afternoon. I am Detective J.E. Garza. It's spelled G-A-R-Z-A, with the Houston Police Department Special Victims Division Adult Sex Crimes Unit. And I am here today to talk to you about defendant Morris Holton III, who is currently charged in 3 HPD cases. The cases are case number 355-370-21, titled Aggravated Sexual Assault, reported March 17, 2021. Case number 2-415986-21, titled Aggravated Sexual Assault, reported on March 29, 2021. Case number 440857-21, titled Aggravated Robbery with Deadly Weapon, reported on April 4, 2021. As I said before, defendant Morris Mac Lamore Holton III, he's a black male, date of birth June 12, 1985, and he's charged in 3 HPD cases. He's been in custody since June 4th, 2021. So on or about April 5th, we observed these cases to be related to the same suspect with similar description and modus operandi. The suspect was described as a black male of about 35 years of age, medium build, and a teardrop tattoo. The suspect's MO was that he would locate the victims online via several social media platforms or personal ads. On 2 cases, the suspect made contact with the victims with the pretext to collaborate with them. The suspect would provide an alias name, then call them from an unlisted number reported to be 346-577-2891. The suspect would gain the victim's trust, and then he would meet with them at their place of residence. In 2 instances, the complainants, they were living at hotel rooms. So once the victims allowed the suspect inside their habitation, the suspect would produce a semi-auto handgun and would threaten to shoot the victims before they thought of resisting. The suspect would then bind the victims with makeshift zip-tie cuffs, then rob them and sexually assault them. 2 of these complainants are content creators. They create videos online on social media. And 1 complainant, she's a massage therapist. In all these cases, the suspect held the victims at gunpoint, ransacked their habitation for money and valuables. In the first 2 cases, the suspect sexually assaulted the victims either after or before ransacking their habitation. These victims were then held captive and tied up in their habitation while the suspect went outside to steal money from them. In the first case, he took the complainant's ATM cards and withdrew cash. In the other case, he ransacked the victim's car for money and valuables. This is after he ransacked their apartments. The third case, victim was partially zip-tied when she fought back, but was pistol whipped by the suspect. Although the suspect wasn't able to sexually assault her, she sustained multiple injuries from this attack. So we began conducting research to locate the suspect by looking at subjects with the same description and also by conducting research on the phone number provided. The phone number was checked on our criminal databases but came back negative. In the first case, I was able to obtain ATM footage of the suspect, but he attempted to conceal his face, leaving little of himself uncovered, making it difficult to identify. In the second incident, the footage only captured him driving a black Cadillac, but the license plate was unreadable. On or about mid-April, a couple of weeks after the incident, the first complainant advised the suspect had reached out to her via social media. He reached out to her via social media, possibly unknowingly. The complainant advised that she saw the suspect via video chat, and she was able to recognize his face, adding that he had a gold tooth. The victim provided the suspect's social media account, but this account was private and had no pictures. Grand jury subpoenas were obtained for the phone number and newly learned social media account. The information received for the phone did not yield positive results. The break in the case came later in May when we received records consisting of subscriber information for the suspect's social media account, which came back to the defendant Morris Holton III. On May 28th, I was able to meet with the second victim for a photo array show-up, and she was able to select Morris Holton III as the suspect who held her captive, sexually assaulted her, and robbed her at gunpoint. I contacted the DA's office, but it was requested that we attempt to meet with the other victims and conduct photo arrays before accepting these charges. Because the victims were very traumatized as a result of the suspect's actions and threats, it was difficult to obtain answers to follow-up questions and arrange meetings. So that same day, when the first victim positively identified Holton, and I believed that he was indeed the suspect in these cases, I learned that he was on parole for an HPD case back in 2011 with a similar MO to my cases. This 2011 case is HPD 1033371-11, titled Aggravated Robbery, Deadly Weapon, and Aggravated Sexual Assault. So I learned that the suspect was out on parole. I then contacted the Texas Parole Board, who also confirmed the suspect's identifying features, and they issued a blue warrant for Holton's arrest, advising me that Holton had a scheduled appointment with his PO the following week. That day, on June 4, 2021, I was contacted by Texas Officer of the Inspector General, Officer Smith, notifying me that Morris Holton was detained by officers from multiple agencies consisting of TXOIG, DPS Special Agents, U.S. Marshals, and Fort Bend SO for his parole warrant as he arrived in his Cadillac to his PO meeting in Fort Bend. I was also advised that Morris Holton was found to be in the company of a juvenile female in this Cadillac. This juvenile was found to be a reported runaway and prompted an investigation by DPS Special Agents, for which Holton received additional charges weeks later for sexual assault of a child and trafficking of the child with intent to prostitute. As the suspect was being held in jail for his parole violation, HPD detectives, myself, and my sergeant, we met with the defendant to obtain his voluntary statement, but the defendant claimed did not recognize our victims, and he also denied the allegations, even after presenting with all the facts of the cases. HPD obtained warrants to search the suspect's vehicle in Fort Bend and retrieved evidence linking him to our cases, such as preloaded zip-tie handcuffs and gloves. The second victim met with forensic sketch artist L. Gibson, and together they created a portrait from this victim's memory. The third victim was able to meet with Robbery Division detectives, and she also positively identified the defendant as the person who assaulted her. We were also able to request comparison of DNA found in the two 2021 sexual assault cases to the DNA taken from defendant Holton in the 2011 case. And when analysis was completed by HFSC in July and September, respectively, lab results advised that they were a positive match. The defendant, Morris Holton, again has been in custody since June 4, 2021, less than 90 days after the first report linked him through our investigation. So he has been charged by HPD in case number 415986-21 with aggravated sexual assault and aggravated robbery with deadly weapon. That was filed on June 22nd, 2021. In case number 440857-1, which was the charges were filed on July 12, 2021, he was charged with aggravated assault with deadly weapon by Sergeant Turner from Robbery Division. And in case 355370-21, he was charged with 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault, aggravated robbery with deadly weapon, and aggravated kidnapping. Those charges were filed on September 3rd, 2021. As I said before, on June 25th, DPS CID special agents filed sexual assault, child, and trafficking of a child. This defendant currently has no bond, and his next court appearance is November 3rd, 2021. The defendant's previous convictions: 1 aggravated robbery for that 2011 case, 1033371-11, for which the aggravated sexual assault charge was dismissed. He was sentenced to 12 years, from which he only served 10 and was out on parole. Previous to that, he had a charge for manufacturing, delivering controlled substance, penalty group 1, and unlawful carry of a weapon for a 2005 case, for which he was convicted for 8 years and 12 days. The defendant, he had been on parole since September 2nd, 21 until his arrest. As previously stated, we believe there may be other victims by the defendant who may or may have not reported their incidents to police. We have learned that the number used by the defendant has been flagged online on other web platforms as a suspect using other aliases in similar incidents, which we did not find in our reports. And we ask that these victims please come forward. We want to keep these dangerous people off the streets and need your help in reporting all crimes of sexual assault or other violent crimes. Any questions?
How many other victims do you suspect there could be?
At least another one. I don't know if you can see a picture right here. It's from an application where you can run suspicious phone numbers. And there's one complainant in there that is naming him by a different alias, which we did not have at this point. On that application, there's about 5 or 6 different subjects. We can't track these subjects who flagged that phone number as somebody who's raped them, robbing them at gunpoint.
So there could be 5 or 6 others.
Yeah, we don't know. Yes.
How many of the victims were juvenile?
From our cases, none. All of our cases were adults. As I said, when he was taken into custody in Fort Bend, he was found in the company of a juvenile female.
Under what circumstances did the women agree to meet with him? What was the reason?
As I said, these 2 of these complainants, they were content creators. So he would lure them with intentions to collaborate. So that's as far as I can go, what I can reveal.
And, well, I guess, so why come to us now? He's been in custody for some time. Why today?
As I said, we believe that there could be other victims. We want to keep him behind bars. We need all victims to come forward. Some, as it's known, sexual assault victims don't always, the majority of sexual assault victims don't report these cases, especially when somebody's being aggressive, threatening to kill them. So that's why I believe there might be other victims.
Was it him video chatting with the last victim that kind of sealed the deal? She was able to identify him. Otherwise, it would have been challenging for you guys?
Correct. Yes, so because of that second contact, which the complainant, the victim said that she thinks that he didn't know he was reaching out to her again. That suspect did not want to tell us anything, or I'm sorry, he did talk to us, but he denied any involvement. He denied knowing the complainants. So I don't know what was his intent, but that was what made what gave us the break in the case.
So you think it's possible he was trying to victimize this woman again without realizing he'd already victimized her?
That's a possibility.
Anything else? Okay. We can go directly to Spanish.
Right. Buenas tardes. Yo soy el detective Garza con la División de Víctimas Especiales, la unidad de abuso sexual con los adultos, y estoy aquí para hablar con ustedes acerca del sospechoso Morris Holton III, que ahorita está en la cárcel con cargos en 3 casos de la policía de Houston. El sospechoso Morris McLemore Holton III es un hombre de la raza negra. Su fecha de nacimiento es el 12 de junio del 1985. Y hemos identificado a él como el principal sospechoso en estos 3 casos. Los 3 casos son casos muy violentos. 2 de ellos fueron las víctimas abusadas sexualmente. Y en todos los 3 casos las víctimas fueron robadas de sus pertenencias. En uno especialmente la víctima fue agredida con la pistola donde la golpearon y le dieron muchas heridas. Alrededor de abril 5 observamos que estos casos parecían estar relacionados al mismo sospechoso, con la misma descripción y el mismo modo operandi. El sospechoso fue descrito como un hombre negro de 35 años aproximadamente, de estatura y física media, y un tatuaje de una lágrima. La forma en que el sospechoso contactaba a las víctimas, él las localizaba usando la internet, usando varias plataformas de las redes sociales y también anuncios personales. En 2 casos, el sospechoso hizo contacto con las víctimas con el pretexto de colaborar con ellas. El sospechoso usaba un alias, un nombre falso, y luego las contactaba de un número no registrado, 346-577-2891. El sospechoso ganaba la confianza de las víctimas, luego las contactaba, se juntaba con ellas en sus residencias. Una vez las víctimas permitían que el sospechoso pasara dentro de sus habitaciones, el sospechoso producía una pistola semiautomática y amenazaba en dispararle a las víctimas antes de que ellas pensaran resistir. El sospechoso amarraba a las víctimas con esposas hechas por zip ties y luego las robaba y las abusaba sexualmente. 2 de estas víctimas son creadoras de contenido en las redes sociales. La tercera víctima es una terapéutica de masajes. En todos estos casos, el sospechoso apuntaba a las víctimas con la pistola, les robaba sus pertenencias. En los 2 primeros casos, el sospechoso abusaba sexualmente a las víctimas y también les robaba sus objetos de valor o dinero. Esas víctimas eran mantenidas captivas y amarradas en sus habitaciones mientras el sospechoso iba afuera y les robaba dinero. En un caso, el sospechoso se llevó una tarjeta de banco de la víctima y sacó varios cientos de dólares de la máquina ATM. En otros, como les dije, él robaba sus pertenencias. En uno de ellos, él salió afuera del carro de la víctima y le quitó sus pertenencias. El caso de la tercera víctima fue de que ella estaba amarrada, parcialmente amarrada con esos zip ties, pero cuando trató de defenderse del sospechoso, él la golpeó con la pistola. Aunque el sospechoso no la asaltó sexualmente, ella sostuvo varias heridas de este ataque. Empezamos a hacer investigación en este sospechoso, tratando de localizarlo por medio de su descripción y también del número de teléfono proveído. El número lo checamos en nuestros archivos criminales y no obtuvimos buenos resultados. En el primer caso pude obtener video de la máquina ATM del sospechoso, pero él había cubierto toda su cara, la mayoría de su cara, dejando poco de su cara, haciéndolo más difícil para identificarlo. En el segundo incidente, el video solamente capturó al hombre manejando un Cadillac negro, pero las placas de la licencia no se podían leer. A mediados de abril, un par de semanas después del primer incidente, la primera víctima nos avisó que el sospechoso había contactado por sus redes sociales, posiblemente sin saberlo. La víctima nos avisó que el sospechoso la había contactado por video chat y ella pudo reconocerlo, su cara, añadiendo que también tenía un diente de oro. La víctima nos proveyó la cuenta de redes sociales del sospechoso, pero era privada y no tenía fotos. Obtuvimos grand jury subpoenas para obtener la información del suscriptor del teléfono y también de la cuenta de red social. La información que recibimos del teléfono no nos dio resultados positivos, pero luego en mayo recibimos los récords de la red social del sospechoso que estaban registradas a Morris Holton III. El 28 de mayo pudimos hablar con una de las víctimas y enseñarle una serie de fotos donde ella pudo reconocer a Morris Holton como el sospechoso que la mantuvo captiva, la agravió sexualmente y también la robó a punta de pistola. En esa fecha también contactamos a la fiscalía, pero fue requerido de que contactáramos a las demás víctimas y hacer el mismo proceso de enseñarles fotos, porque estas víctimas habían sido traumatizadas como resultado de las acciones del sospechoso y estaban bajo amenaza. Era muy difícil, fue algo difícil obtener respuestas a más preguntas y coordinar más entrevistas. Ese mismo día, cuando mi víctima identificó positivamente a Holton y yo creía que era en realidad el sospechoso en esos casos, también miré que él estaba afuera en parole por un caso del 2011, el caso 103-3371-11, por un asalto agravado con pistola y otro asalto sexual. Fue en esa misma fecha que contacté al Texas Parole Board, que confirmaron las marcas identificantes del sospechoso, y también ellos hicieron una blue warrant para el arresto de Holton. Me avisaron que Holton tenía una cita con su parole officer la siguiente semana. El 4 de junio me contactaron los oficiales del inspector general del estado de Texas y me avisaron de que Morris Holton había sido detenido por los oficiales de varias agencias, incluyendo agentes del DPS, U.S. Marshals y Fort Bend Sheriff's Office, por la orden de arresto de violación de parole, cuando iba llegando a su cita en su Cadillac. También me avisaron que Morris Holton había sido encontrado en la compañía de una mujer menor de edad en su Cadillac. Esta muchacha había sido reportada como alguien que se escapó de su casa. Y esto empezó una investigación por los agentes especiales del DPS, por lo cual Holton recibió cargos adicionales semanas después por asalto sexual de un menor y también tráfico de un menor para prostituir. Mientras el sospechoso estaba siendo retenido en la cárcel por su violación de parole, nosotros, detectives, yo y otro sargento, fuimos a hablar con el sospechoso para obtener una declaración voluntaria, en la cual él dijo que no reconocía a las víctimas y que tampoco sabía de estos casos que le estábamos hablando. Él negó todas las acusaciones incluso después de haberle presentado con toda la evidencia que hemos encontrado. Nosotros obtuvimos órdenes de cateo para trasculcar el vehículo sospechoso en Fort Bend, y ahí encontramos evidencia que lo conectaba aún más a nuestros casos, como unas esposas hechizas por zip size y también guantes. La segunda víctima, ella fue con la artista forense de retratos hablados, la señora Elle Gibson, y juntas crearon un retrato de la memoria de la víctima, haciendo un retrato hablado del sospechoso. La tercera víctima se encontró con un sargento, un detective de la División de Robos, y también ella identificó al sospechoso como la persona que la asaltó. Nosotros pudimos pedir que se comparara el ADN encontrado en los asaltos sexuales con el ADN encontrado en el caso del 2011. Y cuando el análisis estuvo completo por Houston Forensic Science Center en julio y en septiembre respectivamente, los resultados avisaron que eran positivos a los dos ADNs, que eran de la misma persona. El sospechoso Morris Holton, tercero, está en custodia desde el 4 de junio del 2021, menos de 90 días después del primer reporte que pudimos asociar por esta investigación. Este sospechoso tiene dos cargos de asalto, un cargo de asalto agravado sexual, un cargo de robo agravado con arma mortal por el caso número 4408-5721. También tiene un cargo de asalto agravado con arma mortal en el caso corrección. Él tiene, en el caso 415986-21, él tiene cargos de asalto sexual agravado y robo agravado con arma mortal. En el caso 440857-21, él tiene un cargo de asalto agravado con arma mortal que fue archivado por el sargento Turner de la División de Robos. Y en el tercer caso, 355370-21, él tiene 2 cargos de asalto sexual agravado, robo agravado con arma mortal y también secuestro agravado. Los agentes especiales del DPS le pusieron cargos de asalto sexual a un menor y tráfico sexual de menor el 25 de junio de 2021. Este sospechoso no puede salir, no tiene ninguna fianza hasta ahorita. Su fianza no tiene fianza, en otras palabras. Y él había estado en parole desde el 2 de septiembre del 2021 hasta la fecha. 2 de septiembre del 2020 hasta cuando lo arrestamos en el 4 de junio del 2021. ¿Una pregunta? Any questions?
¿Creen que existen más víctimas en este caso?
Sí. Hemos checado las redes sociales y hay hay plataformas donde cuando uno pone el número de teléfono de este sospechoso, aparecen resultados de otras posibles víctimas que han reportado en las redes sociales haber sido abusados por la persona que usaba este mismo número. Uno de estos reportes usan un sobrenombre o un alias diferente a los que nosotros hemos encontrado, y por eso pienso que puede haber más víctimas de él. Quiero decirle al público de que este hombre está ahorita bajo arresto. Tiene una fianza o no tiene fianza. Quiero que se sientan seguros para venir a hablar con nosotros. Por lo delicado de este tipo de casos de asalto sexual, entendemos de que las víctimas no siempre, la mayoría de las veces no reportan este tipo de abuso sexual, este tipo de casos. Pero quiero que se sientan con la confianza de hablar con nosotros aquí. Habemos detectives de muchas razas, hablamos inglés, hablamos español. Si hay alguna víctima de que se sienta incómoda de hablar, también tenemos detectives mujeres o alguien con la que se puedan sentir en confianza para hablar de este caso.
¿Qué nos puede decir de las víctimas en específico? ¿Hay algún detalle que nos pueda dar sobre las víctimas? ¿Eran afroamericanas, hispanas?
Las víctimas eran blancas, eran latinas, todas eran jóvenes en sus años 20 a 30. Pero lo que hacía a estas víctimas vulnerables era de que ellas se daban a conocer por las redes sociales. Y es como este hombre las contactó, con el pretexto de colaborar. No sabemos en qué forma iban a colaborar, o en qué forma corrección. Las víctimas han dicho en qué forma ellas pensaban que que iban a colaborar, pero no sabemos el sospechoso en realidad si estaba a todas víctimas diciéndole lo mismo, ¿entiende? A esas 3 víctimas él quería colaborar con ellas, pero puede haber otras víctimas que nada más las haya contactado para conocerse.
¿Cuánto tiempo creen que él estaba abusando sexualmente de mujeres? ¿Creen que esto empezó hace mucho tiempo?
No podía decir, lo que te puedo decir es de que él estaba en la cárcel, estuvo por algunos 10 años, y cuando él salió recientemente en el 2020, de que ahí podría haber empezado con este tipo de casos. Pero los primeros reportes que tenemos nosotros son de marzo.
¿Saben por qué crimen estaba en la cárcel?
Era por un crimen parecido donde a su compañera en esos años, en el 2010, 2011. La abusó sexualmente, la tenía también atada de manos y pies. Todo eso está en récord público, está donde le pusieron cargos en ese año. Pero la forma en que había victimizado a esa mujer, la había amarrado, la habían asaltado sexualmente, la habían robado, todo eso concordaba con estos otros casos. So the case in 2011 was a similar MO. The complainant back then was his domestic partner at one point, or a dating partner. It was actually a dating partner that she didn't want to be date him anymore, and so he, with a pretext of with some pretext, he was able to gain access inside her residence. He zip-tied her. He we don't know if he was seeing, but there was 2 suspects in that case. The victim was sexually assaulted, but definitely she was definitely sexually assaulted and zip-tied, which was kind of consistent with these other cases in the MO. On that 2011 case, there was 2 suspects, but that second suspect was never located or never found who was the second suspect. So that's my belief why that sexual assault case was dismissed. But he did serve 10 years for that aggravated robbery.
And you think he worked alone this time?
I'm not sure if he worked alone. One of the complainants said that she was under the impression that, under threats, that there was somebody else, but they were sexually assaulted by him. So these other complainants expressed that he told them that somebody else was watching, not call the police, or I'll bring somebody else to watch you while I go do this, something to that effect. So I'm not sure if there was that second suspect. Nobody actually saw a second suspect, but we don't know. We don't know if he worked by himself or with somebody.
You guys said that his account on social media had no pictures or videos on it whatsoever.
Right.
There was no type of internet presence that he had previously?
With that social media, I didn't find any.
And she asked you a question, and you said the victims were young, white, and Hispanic females?
There were 2 of them were Latinas, but all 3 were white race, Caucasian. Okay.
And the thing they had in common was they were seeking collaborations via social media, right?
2 of them were content creators, like I said, and the pretext was to collaborate, and the other one was a massage therapist, and so she did massages on the side, so that's how he was able to get inside her residence. She thought it was a potential customer.
Part of town did he operate?
Citywide, yeah.
And can you just lastly reassure potential victims again to come to you guys? Can you just reassure the public? that
Yes,
it's
so
okay to come to you?
we understand that victims of sexual assault, the trauma that they go through, it's very hard to report these type of cases. But trust in us, we want to help you. We want to help you bring the suspect to justice. Our unit is comprised of officers from different races, different backgrounds. We speak different languages, English, Spanish, other languages. And like I said, we all come from different backgrounds. We got males, females. So we're here to help you. If we can accommodate the victim in any way, we'll make our best possible attempt to do so. We all receive we've all received training, and we understand the victim's trauma. So we're very victim-centered, and we want to make sure that all victims can trust us coming forward with these type of cases. So, and not only that, but we also have a victim service advocates who can help you regardless of your decision to contact, or the complaint, or the victim's decision to contact police officers. Okay, there's many ways in which we can help these victims.
Anything else?
Can you maintain your name and title again, please?
I'm Detective J.E. Garza.
Thank you.
Thank you.